Hello students, Mr. Young here. Welcome to Chapter 3, Lesson 1. We're talking about Roanoke and Jamestown. So, our objective for the day is, after reading the lesson, you'll complete the writing prompt. As always, you want to pass everything, so 60% or better, but I'm fairly certain you guys can ace it with 100%. Our central question is, what problems did the Roanoke colonists face, and why did the Jamestown settlement succeed? So that's the things we're looking over today. Your resource, as always, is your textbook right here, our History of the United States. And some of the vocabulary words we're going to see in today's lesson: charter, joint stock company, headright, and Burgess, things you all should be familiar with, given that you just did the vocabulary quiz. So let's take a look here. Here we go. First lesson where we dive into some content, and we start with a fun one. We start with a lesson on the mystery of basically the Roanoke settlement. The following video will explore the Roanoke mystery. So watch this video, which is being funny right now, but it'll pop up, I assure you. And it's going to go over some possible explanations, and I want you to think about these explanations because your assignment at the end of the lesson is going to deal with this video. And it's also posted on the assignment page, so you want to go ahead and take a look at that. If you're following this video right here, the one you're watching now, you might want to pause it at this point to watch that YouTube video. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on going, and I'm going to dictate the rest of the lesson. So, little reminder, it's usually best, and I advise my students to read the lesson in the book. It's only 3 pages, it'll only take you a couple minutes, but in this instance it's on pages 60 through 63. So let's start with Roanoke. The word on the street in Europe is that there's a great potential for wealth creation in the Americas. You can make a lot of money there. There's a lot of untapped resources. England wants to get in on some of this action. In 1584, Queen Elizabeth sends Sir Walter Raleigh to start a colony. Raleigh's scouts find a swell spot called Roanoke Island, located off the coast of modern-day North Carolina. Now, Raleigh tried twice to colonize the island. The first group arrived in 1585. With them, artist John White recorded the surroundings with drawings and produced valuable information. They had a rough winter, though, and gave up, sailing back to England. They said, "We're done with this. We're going back." So Raleigh tried again a few years later in 1587. This time, the group contained 91 men, 17 women, and 9 children. John White personally led this expedition, the guy that drew the pictures the first time. Let's see. His daughter, John White's daughter, gave birth to a little girl named Virginia Dare in America, making her the first English person born in the colonies. Cool little nugget there for you. White left 9 days after the birth of his granddaughter, Virginia Dare, to get supplies from England. He planned on returning in a few months, but thanks to a war with Spain, Spanish Armada, he did not return to Roanoke for 3 whole years. When he did return, nothing remained of the colonies. The only clue, as described in that nifty intro video you watched before, was the word Croatoan carved into a tree. That moves us on to Jamestown, where this picture link is broken and I'll have to fix that. The whole scary business of a whole group of settlers mysteriously disappearing forever scared a lot of people from colonizing America for a little while. But by 1606, requests started coming in to the now King James I. The first such company to receive a charter from the king was the Virginia Company. The Virginia Company of London was a joint stock company, hoping to cash in on some swell goods such as gold, fishing, and furs. The company sent 144 settlers to the New World in December 1606. They settled in Virginia in a town appropriately called Jamestown. On that note, if any of you kids settle Mars someday, or the moon, I expect you to name a town after me. Maybe Yuntown, Yundopolis, or maybe Yundville. Just a little joke. Anyways, instead of finding riches in Jamestown, they found severe winters and hard times. Captain John Smith led the survival efforts, getting help from the local Powhatan Indians. Things got really tough the second winter, though, when Smith went back to England, and the Powhatans were like, you know what, we're done helping these people. They called this winter of 1609 to 1610, the starving time, which I coincidentally called the time between breakfast or lunch and dinner, or any time I'm not really eating. Despite the hardships, the Jamestown colony managed to survive and actually began to thrive. They made big money on their special tobacco from the West Indies. The company sent some more women over, and magically, there were more marriages than babies. The Virginia Company started giving head rights, which helped the colony thrive. Remember, head rights are land grants. So the town is growing, the population is growing. The problem is, well, we'll get to that problem. In 1619, Jamestown created the first colonial legislature called the House of Burgesses. So they had their own government now. But the bad thing for the Virginia Company is, despite the fact that Jamestown was thriving in its own right, they weren't making the company any money. And as a result, the Jamestown colony ownership actually went from the Virginia Company to King James, making it the first royal colony. We end here with a little picture of Yondopolis on Mars. For your assignment today, what are we doing on time? Good. I want you to think on a question posed on the YouTube video we watched in the intro lesson. What do you think happened to the Roanoke settlers? Here's the video one more time if you don't remember what they talk about. Now for your assignment, you may submit a Word document, or LibreWord, Microsoft Word, a Google Doc if you want, whatever, as long as I get it submitted. Or you can just put it in the text box, which is fine too. And you're going to answer the question, what do you think happened to the Roanoke settlers? Now I want a paragraph. That means complete sentences or more sentences. So you're going to get 4 points for the answer itself, which is the complete sentences, and then 1 point for spelling and grammar. Because you're in 8th grade now and you should be checking your spelling and grammar. And this is advanced. So that's what you have for today. That's the end of today's assignment. So feel free to stop after you complete that and have that submitted. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Otherwise, have a wonderful day.